And obviously, you guys are back with Sapphire's Unscripted, Casual Bias, Revan Habs. Welcome to the episode. It's quite an exciting one, the one we've all been waiting for. Post Rugby World Cup, this finally a rugby tournament that we can talk about, because the rest of the tournaments have been quite disappointing, in my opinion. So Six Nations, what do you guys think, guys? Are we excited? Are we going to do a combined 15, see who gets in, who doesn't?
Well, Brett spoke about finally some excitement and sounded like the most or the least enthusiastic guy in the world on that intro.
Deal with it.
Yeah, well, listen, we are Sapphire's Unscripted, but we got to give these guys some attention. And that is probably why Mr. Burns is probably not so enthusiastic, because he is full-blown Sapphire. But
we're throwing in a twist, people. We are throwing in a twist. You have to have at least one player of every team in it. So you can't just fill it with France and Irish players.
That's fair.
Okay, so on today's episode, I'm going to be asking the questions. You two are going to give the answers. I'll be the deciding factor. So if you say somebody and you say somebody, and I'll be the breaking points, like who's going to be the third vote initially. Okay, so let's start straight away. Let's go with. Firstly, before we start this, I just have to say something. I saw a post from one of the biggest rugby pages, that they asked on their poll, who's going to win the Six Nations, Ireland or France? And that absolutely grinded me. And I think that's why I started the way I did, because I was thinking about that. Like, what about the other teams? Like, I don't want to vote for any of those teams. We all know that I'm backing Scotland to win the Six Nations, or at least not one of those two. So come on, what's the point then? Are we watching to see those two play?
Well, Brett, maybe it motivates the likes of Scotland to actually say, listen, stop your shit. We're actually in the running as well. And then they go for it.
I agree. Maybe I should have seen it that way, because I don't know. My mood.
That maybe grinded your gears more than it grinded the Scotland gears at the moment.
True story. I think obviously there's a bit of Scottish in me, and it's coming out now. But anyway, okay, so let's kick off now. I want to know, you two, let's start. I'm going to change it up a bit, because the Northern Hemisphere does it so oddly. They go 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to do it that way, because apparently if you can't beat them, join them, because they're so bad.
No, we're not doing it like that, Brett. We're not doing
it
like
listen, who's the host of this episode? Me or you?
Let's get cracking, gents. Come on. I want to put some names here.
Who's your
15?
Fullback.
I'm going. I know Tomo Ramos is way better than Capuzzo or Capuzzo, however you pronounce it. But I'm going. We need to get some Italian stallions in there, and I'm going for this guy. He looks about 15, but he's got the flair and skills of a world class 15. You know, when you get players that are in a team and you're just like, these guys are levels above the rest. He's one of those guys. So obviously, if you're just trying to pick the best team, Tomo Ramos probably goes in, and he's probably the kicker as well. But I'm putting in Capuzzo for that reason alone, that we need Italian players, and I think that guy is the standout above the rest.
Completely agree. Obviously, as well, would have gone for Ramos, maybe even considered a Keenan from Ireland. But I actually think that sorry if we are mispronouncing this name, but I'm going to say Capuzzo. That's how I'm going to say it. Sorry if I mispronounce it. But I think he is probably in the top two fullback in that Northern Hemisphere. I think he's better than a Hugo Keenan. I think he's really, really good. And him and Ramos, for me, are the two best 15s. But because we have to include an Italian in this team, I'm going to go with Capuzzo as well.
Okay, he was going to be my call as well, because if I look at a team, I would pick him over anybody else, because I'll get a different kicker, and I'd steer away from the safe option. I don't do safe. I do extravagant. So that's why I would have agreed with you guys. I would have agreed with whoever said Capuzzo. So
Yeah, and just to add on it, he's one of those guys, very talented, creates something out of absolutely nothing. I kind of think like Italian rugby was a bit dull until he came along and they fitted the playstyle to kind of fit around his playstyle. And since then, they've looked way more exciting. They don't get the results, but I mean, they look very good.
I'd still like to see him and a Reno Smith in the same team for Italy. One of them on right wing, other one on fullback. Either one, it doesn't matter who's where, and just balling. Oh my goodness, that can be exciting. Okay, moving on. We're going to right wing. Who do we have? Anybody go first? Doesn't matter. First one.
Brevan can go first. We'll go one for one.
Okay. I'm gonna have to go with Pinot. There is Hansen, of course, but we are gonna include at some points an injured players in this list because unfortunately we'll get to that later. But Wales have to use that man in this position, so I'm gonna go Pinot just because Hansen's injured.
Even if Hansen wasn't injured, I would have gone for Pinot as well. I'm agreeing. I think the second choice wouldn't have been Hansen either. I would have gone with Darcy Graham on the right wing. But just a little spoiler, I'm not putting in two Scottish wingers. And Hansen Darcy Graham isn't first pick for the wing position for me when it comes to Scottish wingers. I'm going Damien Pinot as well. He's a try-scoring machine. He isn't like Brett would say, just a finisher. He actually creates some stuff. Because you get wingers that are just like pure finishers, like the likes of Makazole Mapimpi or Will Jordan. But Pinot, his work rate is insane, and that's why he gets the shout for me as well.
Okay. Well, there I can't really split the difference because you guys both said the same thing. And I was actually thinking of Kyle Steyn from Scotland on right wing.
Yeah.
But obviously it wasn't part of the vote. So, okay. So now we've obviously decided we've got a 15 and a 14. Let's go to left wing. Let's go to the other wing, and then we go to the centers. So who's your left wing? Okay, Casual Buys literally just gave it away who he's going for. But
yeah, and I'm pretty sure we're agreeing on this one. We want the Safas in the team. So we're going to one for the Merwe.
I agree.
Yeah, I would have, if you guys both said a different name, I would have been that guy that takes my 2/3 majority of my votes, and I would have said the one for the Merwe anyway. So he scored the try of the year last year, and it's just, I love watching that man play rugby. Okay, so that was quite an easy one, actually. Okay, so who's your 13 outside center? Let me see what you guys are going to go for.
Okay.
Definitely disagreeing.
Definitely. I can already see it. I'm also going to disagree with all of you. 2/3 coming up right now.
I have literally 3 players in mind.
Well, give us one.
No, well, if someone has a name, spitball it, because I'm still trying to make my decision. So if you have a name, say it.
Most people would probably say Gary Ringrose. People saying he's better than Lukanya Am and stuff. No, I'm going with the bald-head Frenchman, Gael Ficou. Insane work rate. And he will complement my inside center very nicely.
Okay.
I'm going with.
He's been on form. He's been absolutely brilliant. He's one of those workhorse outside centers. He's the second coming of Jesse Kriel.
Okay.
I'm going for Hugh Jones.
Wow. Okay. So this just got a whole lot interesting because I'm actually siding with Brevan here because Hugh Jones was my call. I thought you would say Gary Ringrose, and I knew you wouldn't say Gary Ringrose. So I was going to go with Hugh Jones because he's one of my favorite outside centers in the world. I think he's very underrated.
He's so underrated.
Yes, yeah. He's one of the fastest players I've seen. Yeah, so sorry, casual. You've just been schneid. Okay, so
I mean, yeah, no disrespect to Fiku, of course, he's a great player, but Hugh Jones is very underrated, and I think he really is a good player, like really
I
good.
think it's a bit disrespectful that Gary Ringrose didn't even get a single vote.
I don't, I don't know.
While he is probably the best outside centre of the lot.
yeah,
Maybe.
on his day, he hasn't been on form
For the past couple of seasons, but on form, Fiku is better at the moment.
Yeah, but okay, 13 has been decided. So just a quick recap quickly. Let's go from 15. It's Caputo. 14, who did we say?
Peno,
11, Duan. 13, Hugh Jones. And I hope you guys have hit that subscribe button. Anyway, moving on. Number 12. Number 12. We have to go first on number 12 because casual
Okay.
is not
there. I'm gonna go with Bandi Aki. It's got to be Bandi Aki. He's been phenomenal. I have to be
I
fair.
was so keen on going for the underdog shout on this one and saying Tui Pelotu because I think he's absolutely brilliant for Scotland.
He is.
I think he's a better centre for Scotland than Hugh Jones, and I love Hugh Jones as well. But I think Tui Pelotu means more for Scotland. But I can't overlook Bundi Aki either. Now, I'm not saying he's the best centre in the world or anything. He had a very good season last season, but he's been absolutely outstanding for Ireland. So I agree with Brevan. You got to go for Bundi Aki. They are levels above the rest of the centres or inside centres when it comes to this thing. Maybe Dante could have had a shout, but the guy's injured. So
yeah, I was gonna pull my trump card and say Farrell. I think Farrell's I think he's a better playmaker than Bundiaki. For me, defending against Bundiaki is the easiest thing in the world. I know exactly what he's going to do. But I'm going to retract my 2/3 majority call here, and I'll go with you guys on Bundiaki. Although he wasn't even the best centre in the World Cup, and everyone thought he was because Damien Nylander was absolutely brilliant against Ireland. Anyway, okay. So we've agreed on Bundiaki. Okay, so now the pivot, the most important position in rugby, the decision maker, the general, the best player on the field. Okay, sorry guys, I'm just trying to pump up fly-offs here because I'm on. Okay, so who's our general? Who's our first five? Who's our fly-off?
Well, guys, I don't know about you, right? And I've said this before, so you already know it. I think Finn Russell is a good player, but he's so overhyped. I haven't seen him play good games, really. I've never seen a game and said, holy shit, Finn Russell might be the best 10 in the world. I've seen a couple of things he's done, and it's like, wow, okay, that was amazing. But it's one thing he did in the game. He played well in that one game against South Africa for the British and Irish Lions when Bigger got injured and he came from the bench. And that's why I'm not putting in a 10 that makes blunders after blunders. Okay. Now, I would have gone risky and said Marcus Smith just because of what he can bring and some excitement, something different. But he's injured as well. I'm going totally different. I'm going Jack Rowley.
Okay.
Wow. There's only two options for me here. And me being me, of course, I forget the French fly-off's name. Please enlighten.
Jalibert.
Yeah. No, isn't there another one?
So but he's still injured, if I'm not
mistaken. Is he still injured? Is Intermac still injured?
Yeah. That's why Ramos has been playing at 10 for Toulouse.
Okay, no, flip. I actually didn't know he was still injured. My bad. Shows my casualness in this game as well. Well then, look. I agree with you in the fact that Finn Russell hasn't been fantastic. I agree that he's not very consistent, but I think if you put him in a side that we're building, I think he'll be very beneficial. So I'm gonna go with Finn Russell on this one.
You can't say you're the Messi of Scotland, right? And then
But
the next
you
game,
literally said he was
you do a cross
joking.
kick 5 meters from your own goal line and it gets intercepted for a try. I know it was a joke, but that's just a slap in the face. I'm not putting him in. Brett, you better not decide on Finn Russell now.
I'm not. I'm going through all the teams' fly-offs now, and
It's not looking good.
it's not looking good. It's actually looking. Remind me the name. I can see his face. The Italian fly-off.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I can't give you a name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So for me, sorry, somebody in the comment section will probably correct us soon, but I think that he's probably the safest 10. What's his name?
I think it's Alan or something like
Yeah, so
that.
yeah, I think he's the safest 10 in this whole Six Nations. He doesn't. I think he's well. If I have to compare it to myself, he's the opposite of me. He plays to the book. Like coach says, we're doing when we had a scrum. Yeah, we're doing this move, that move, that move, and he does it exactly that way. He doesn't like to experiment, but he does what he's told. So I think he's a good shout.
No, but that wasn't the options, Brett. Okay. Stay in your lane. Play by the book and by the rules of the podcast. As you said, you are just the host and you decide between the two of us. And Jack Crowley.
Can I finish?
Jack Crowley ticks every box.
Can I finish? What boxes does he tick? Besides, he doesn't know how to tackle.
Kicks well, plays the game.
Can't tackle. Gets run over all
Better
the
than the
time.
rest.
No,
Okay, we're going for Crowley because I just don't agree with Finn Russell. But that's
Good.
not a stab at Revan. That's just the stab at Finn Russell.
Crowley. We are seriously making Crowley the fly-off of this team.
No, I don't
my
know
God.
why.
Jack Crowley is better than Johnny Sexton.
So my daughter's 1 year old, and Crowley and my daughter are the same height.
Doesn't matter. Crowley is getting in this team because he's better than
Okay,
the
well,
rest.
he's in now.
Walker Smith wasn't injured. He gets the nod.
Are you
Okay.
serious? Okay, whatever. Whatever. We're gonna get on a rant.
I don't know why are you even debating like with a fly off, but it's fine. We'll move on. We'll move on. I'm scared your hat explodes off your head. Anyway, who's the number 9? Who's the second general on the field?
I'm going Alex Mitchell from England.
Wow.
No.
I rate the guy. I really do. For Northampton Saints, the guy is incredible. And the English Borthwick does not give that guy enough chances. Like, we all know Jack van Snorfleet or Van Portfleet or like, he's terrible. Alex Mitchell is 10 times better than him. So I'm going Alex Mitchell.
Jack van Portfleet hasn't played in about 1 billion years. The second choice is Ben Olds. That's who the second choice is. So yeah, he came from the bench against the Box.
Go look, it's Alex Mitchell, my man.
But I had a play in mind just for vibes because I like the Scots. Like if I had to be objective, I'd probably give it to Alex Mitchell as well because I do think he's good. But I went for Ben White.
Not a bad shout.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, obviously we can't put DuPont in. He's not there. So
No.
You guys don't rate Gibson Park?
no. I think Conor Murray's always been better.
New Zealanders in this team, Brett.
Sorry?
We're not allowed to put New Zealanders in this team.
Why the shit that I mean?
Shout out to Bundyaki.
Yeah, but Bundyaki, you had to put him in his levels above. Gibson Park, no, I'm not putting 49-year-olds in this team either.
Okay, so who did we say?
I said
Ben
Alex
White
Mitchell.
and Alex Mitchell.
Okay, so Mitchell it is. Actually,
He's agreed
no.
with me. He's agreed with me.
No, I agree. I like Mitchell. I really do. I think he's definitely one for the future. Okay.
Brett has agreed with me once and was like out of pity just because he doesn't like Finn Russell.
Bull snot. You're talking nonsense. I agreed with Penno.
We both decided, Peno.
Yeah, but
All right, can we get to the men that make the tries now, please? Come now, forward.
This is what Brevan has been waiting for. He doesn't watch the game for fluent rugby. He watches it for.
I want
guys
to
that
see Oaks get
beat each other.
bounced, man.
did you see that Oaks long studs? Anyway. So okay, we're going Loosehead to 8th man. So who's the Loosehead you guys are selecting?
This is easy. Cyril Bai.
I would take Schoeman over him.
Oh,
What?
I really would. I would take Genge over Bai.
No way.
Genj
No
never get
way.
any of my team. I'm
I'm not saying Genge is in the team. I'm just saying Bai is overrated. That's
Okay,
what I'm
well,
saying.
Okay, sure. I thought you guys would have had old Porter in.
Andrew Porter.
Look, Porter's a good shout. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I think Schoeman is just like he's playing for a Scottish side. If you put that Oak in an Irish side or a French side, he shines just like the rest. Like he's great. I don't know what more to say.
Tell us you're a Bulls fan without telling us you're a Bulls fan.
Yeah, that's
Just because
ridiculous.
the guy played like 2 seasons at the Bulls, really.
Okay, so I cannot go with a Schoeman shout. I thought that the game against Scotland and South Africa was determined in up front, and Schoeman crumbled
They literally won a scrum penalty before half time. They absolutely mauled us.
Okay.
Every
Brevan.
now and then,
Brevan, put your emphasis on a scrum penalty.
Okay,
Why?
but who can
smash
other than the All Blacks, who can say they've actually scrummed to win a penalty against us? Who can actually say it other than Scotland and New Zealand?
Are you basing Schoeman on one penalty try?
No, not just that. He can ball carry. He's versatile. Like, okay. What more must I say? You're not going to agree with me.
I agree. There's not a lot of teams that can say they won a scrum penalty against the Boks, right? But it's been a long time since I've seen a team get killed in the scrum the way that Scotland got killed after they won that scrum penalty.
I mean,
because
every team got killed.
We absolutely destroyed them after we lost that scrum penalty. Frans Malherbe came out wanting vengeance. And Pierre Schoeman saw the inside of his asshole with his guts laying on the floor. I'm not taking Pierre Schoeman.
That's fine. We can have violence.
Wait. So the people watching this now, you just need to understand that he's called the emotional one for a reason. So we're going to continue on Pierre Schoeman here. We're going to make this man cry tonight.
This is rubbish, man.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm voting for Soroba. I cannot.
Okay, but now do you not want to use your 2/3 votes and put Porter in there? Because why would you put Bayer in there?
Because when we did overall World 15, Cyril Bai was my World 15 number 1 as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I must have been away at the time.
You were.
What was I? Okay. Oh well, I tried. Any Scottish fans, I apologize. I'm a bad lawyer. I tried.
Okay, hooker, guys, hooker. This is an easy one. If you guys don't say who I think you're gonna say, then you're wrong.
Jamie George. No, I'm just joking. It's definitely Dan Sheehan. I mean, fair play to the Oak.
Oh.
I like that. I wouldn't say I like Dan Sheehan, but
Look,
you have to put some respect on his name. I also love the Destructor, Movaka. That guy,
great player.
Absolutely. Like, have you ever seen a guy play like Movaka? Like, he's not your traditional hooker at all. He just destroys people. So I could go and say, listen, I've only seen a few games of this guy. He's better than Dan Sheehan, but I'm actually going to agree with Brevan because I'm not. Then I could have just as well put in the likes of Ben Earl at 8. Spoiler, he's not my number 8 because I've only seen him for a couple of games. Okay, so I agree, Dan Sheehan. You have to put some respect on his name. He's been the second best hooker in the world for as long as he's been playing because Malcolm Marx destroys him.
Okay, obviously there I can't vote differently because you both said the same thing, but I was going to go for Muvaka. He was the game against South Africa. When he went off the field, I started breathing again.
I actually agree.
Yeah, I thought he was everything for that French side. So unfortunately, I can't vote for him now because you both said Sheehan, so Sheehan's our hooker. Okay, moving on.
We mostly think about him from that one game. Now, I know he was good in all the other games, but like we can only base that opinion on the one game where Dan Sheehan has been doing it for a bit longer, and that's why I'm just siding with Dan Sheehan on it. You have to put some respect on a guy's name that has been up there in the conversation with Malcolm.
Okay, Tighthead.
Furlong. I'll give Furlong that for sure.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the hookers. Like I could have easily said Antonio, but I'm agreeing with Furlong as well. Exact same reason as Dan Sheehan. He's just been doing it for longer. Up there in the conversation with Frans Malherbe. And to be fair, he's been in more team of the seasons than Frans Malherbe, which is wrong, but he has been there. So you have to respect that.
Yeah, I was going to say that he's almost as good as Frans Malherbe, so I was going to say that anyway. So, okay, that was quite an easy one. Okay, number 4 lock.
I'm going to go, unless you want to go first, Casual.
I'll go first. I've got my English player. So I didn't agree with Mitchell, but I do have my English player because I couldn't get it in Marcus Smith either. I went for Maro Itoje just on pure form. He hasn't been good. He hasn't been good after 2019 at all. I do agree, but 2018 and 2019 he was outstanding. And this season, if you've been watching Saracens, he has been a standout player for them. Like since they've been getting a bit of form back, he has been brilliant. I'm not even kidding.
Those that don't know, Casual Bias promised his English girlfriend that he'll throw an Englishman in there somewhere. But yeah, I'm going to side with whatever Brevan says, firstly, because he is a lock. And no. Go.
How do you think Maro Itoje is better than Cameron Woki from France?
Currently, yeah.
Not a chance.
Okay, Cameron Woki it is. Okay, moving on. 5 lock.
I'll go first again. I've got a Frenchman. I've got Flamand.
I thought you were gonna say Maro Itoje again.
By the way, how have you chosen Woki, who starts from the bench, over Tide Bird?
I've seen Woki carry more in the past few games for his club than Itoje ever carries for England, and he makes more meters. Like, he's a physical lock. Itoje is I like to lean over a ruck form, touch the ball, and the ref will go penalty to me. That's all he does, and he's good in the lineup. Like, Itoje is not. No, Itoje is not that guy.
Griffin is still mad after the Bulls' performance this week, and now he's trying to take it out on me. He's just seeing my red hat and thinking this is a Lions cap.
We beat the Lions at least, so have some of that.
We also beat the Lions, and way more convincingly, by the way.
We beat the Sharks more convincing than you.
We beat the Bulls. We beat the Bulls.
And you know, all these performances that we say, like, that was a convincing victory, that was like, the Stormers beat the Bulls probably in the most convincing of all of them.
This isn't about the Bulls and the Stormers, bud.
Brevan, learn your lesson and stay in your lane. You don't want to smoke now.
You are in my territory now. We're talking about forwards and locks. That is my territory.
Fine.
I'll defend my territory.
Take your stupid Woki, okay?
It's not stupid. I'd even take Irish locks over him. I'd take Welsh locks over him. Itoje is overrated.
Okay, we had 5 lock now. 5 lock. We've moved on. Woki is the 4 lock. Who did you say?
Flamand.
Okay.
No. Switching, Paul Willemse. Is he
No.
still injured?
Yes, he's still injured. I saw.
come
I
on.
know he's not. He's not. Paul Willems is not injured. He played for Montpellier against the Lions the other day.
Yeah, give me some South African bread in there.
No, but
You know,
still
South
no.
Africa has the best locks. Paul Willems is up there.
Mm. I'll go with Lamont. I'll have to go with Lamont.
Okay,
you've
so
got two French. You've got two
oh,
French locks.
okay.
The
I
French
like
locks are good.
You know what? I still haven't forgiven Paul Willems from the, I think it was 2010 Junior World Cup when he played for South Africa and he got a red card. I still haven't forgiven him for that. Under 20 Springboks and he got a red card and then he ran away to France. So Paul Willems can suck it. Okay. So number 6. Who's our number 6?
Okay,
Well-
but how are we going to work this first of all? Because as we know, our number 6 is different
No,
to
we
their
do
number.
it. They're number 6.
Their number 6. Okay,
They're number 6.
Should I go first, Brevan?
go first.
So I've got two names. Well, only the one makes it. But if this guy didn't retire, he is currently the best
agree.
rugby player in the Prem.
I
Courtney
agree.
Law is absolutely insane at the moment. Like,
But
he
he's
would be
retired.
England's best player by a country mile. Like, I'm not even bantering. I don't like the guy, but he is insane. But
Yeah.
I am going for the enforcer, the man that goes out to kill, the man that you say, listen, here's the ball, get a red card, but just like take 4 players with you. The Zimbabwean, Negri.
Oh, Negri.
It's not the best,
Ooh.
but I like myself some enforcer. And I like the second choice of an Italian. So we got Italian backline, Italian front.
I really like that call because my whole feed on all my platforms this whole week has been Negri's tackle on Owen Farrell, where absolutely almost broke his chest.
And did you see in the documentary where he bounces Genge?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, that was brutal. Oh, it's a good shout. It's a good shout. So I'll agree.
I'll also agree. 100% I'll agree. I like that call. He's probably Italy's best forward currently.
For sure. I agree.
Okay. Good call.
And it's a great story. The farm, how they escaped from the farm, got into Italy and stuff. So it's an emotional connection because, of course, South Africa has a related problem. So that's why I'm putting him in there.
Yeah, I agree because my parents literally went through the same thing. They both from Europe met in Rhodesia at the time, and they were forced to come to South Africa. So same thing for me. Okay, moving on. Number 7.
I'm putting in the injured player. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's our Welsh player, the only player we can put in for Wales because we have to include a Welsh player. It's Jack Morgan. He's injured, but I'm sorry, no other Welsh player gets in.
Yeah, fully agree. The thing is, right, so there's not many Welsh players in this team, but this is no disrespect to Wales because I still think Warren Gatland gets the best out of that team and they somehow perform as a team to get some victories. They don't need the big names. I'm not saying they're not beating France or Ireland, probably not even Scotland. But I see them beating the likes of England just because of Warren Gatland and what he can do for them as a team. But to get in a Welsh player because we forced ourselves, I don't even know all the Welsh players, to be honest. We said George North. He's definitely not getting into that back line, so it has to be Jack Morgan.
Okay, now this is going to be interesting. This is going to be very interesting. So go ahead, tell us what position we are rooting for here.
Okay, so it's probably going to be between Aldrit and Norris. So we're doing number 8 now. Who are your number 8s? Revan, you go first.
I believe Doris is better than Aldrit.
There is no way on this earth that I'm putting in a guy in this team that has a girl's name. Kaylin. Seriously, Brevan. I've said this a million times. That should be enough for you to say, listen, this guy does not get into this team. Aldri is way
All
better.
Aldridge can do is this to
how
Italian players.
people
That's
make
all
the
Aldridge
comparison
can
between
do.
Aldrit and Kalen Doris and Adi Savia. They throw out Doris immediately. Aldrit is way better than Doris.
No.
So when I was growing up and I did something wrong, my dad used to slap me and he'd call me a Doris. He's like, Doris.
There you go. Girl's name and used as a punishment as well. Imagine having your name used as a punishment. There you go. Enough. Get him out.
Because
Yeah,
so
so I
what,
guess-
you saying
Aldri. Yeah.
and you saying Doris. So okay, I have to decide here, but for me, both of them are very, very overrated. I don't rate any one of
You're going
them.
with Ben Earl?
Well, I'd go Ben Earl over bloody Doris.
Me too. Yeah. I actually rate Ben Earl. I think he's a good player for England. He was outstanding in the World Cup.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to say Aldrit then, but he's the new French captain, but I'm only doing this because I'm forced to. So that's my 2 cents. Sorry, Brevin.
It's all right.
Suck it,
Okay,
Brevan.
so yeah, that concludes our 15. Let's go through it quickly. 15, we've got
Caputo.
14, we've got
Peno.
13, we got
13, we've got
You don't.
You don't.
But it should have been
12,
Gail
we got
Fiuku.
Bundiaki. 10, we've got 11, we got Duan van der Merwe. 10, we went for
Jack.
Crowley.
oh yeah. Boo.
What?
Number
what
9, we went for who's our 9?
Mitchell.
Oh yeah, Mitchell. 8, Aldrit. 7, we went for
Jack Morgan.
Jack Morgan.
6.
Negri. Come on.
Negri. Yeah. Oh, Negri.
I'm letting you guys talk.
So I'm a rugby player. I don't have brains. I can't remember these things.
5.
5, we went Flamand. Lamont.
4,
Walkie.
3,
Walkie.
3. Huh?
We went Furlong in the 3.
Yeah.
2.
2, we went for Chien, but shout out to Mabuka.
Yeah, and 1, we went for Cyril Bai.
Yes.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching our episode. This is one of our longer episodes. Thoroughly enjoyed this one. So please remember, we are also on Spotify. Like and subscribe. Share this to your friends, guys. We like the debates coming from all ends, so go for it. So enjoy the evening, and thank you for watching. Brevin,
And
casual.
if you watched it till this far, in the comments, the ones that me and Brevan disagreed on, tell us who you would have chosen between the two of us. Thank you.
Me.
Thank you.
Well,